Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we're talking about 3 ways chasing a specific person is actually pushing them away. Now, if you're new to this channel and you like videos like this, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button below, click the bell. As soon as new videos come out, you will be notified. And if you like this video, you want to support this channel, an easy way that would help this channel a lot is simply by clicking that like button. So back to the video, what are 3 ways that you chasing a specific person is actually pushing them away? I made this video because a lot of people have the question, what do you do about manifesting a specific person? And I think it's important to highlight some of the dynamics that might be going on why this specific person is so important in your life. I'm not saying that it applies to every single case, but it is something that I personally wish I would have known in my past in regard to specific people and situations. So the first thing is actually this strong, intense desire to have them so bad is actually basically energetically showing a lack. Because you are so badly wanting them, energetically you are pushing out into the universe, I do not have this specific person. So if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, your thoughts and your feelings are creating your state of being. Your state of being is what you're sending out into the quantum field. So if you're thinking, oh man, I desire this person, I want this person so bad, oh man, if I only had this person XYZ, well, you're sending out and telling the universe, I don't have this person, I don't have this person. And the universe doesn't respond to the things that you want. The universe responds to who you are being. Are you being a person who wishes they had somebody else? If that's the case, you're going to stay in that state. So starting to become aware and you starting to identify when you move into that really needy and clinging energy. I'm going to talk more about what that could mean if you find yourself in this desperate or a situation where it feels very intense emotionally. When you find yourself in that situation, really stopping to ask yourself, what's really going on? Is it this person's lack of relationship with me at this time? Do I think that things should be different? And do I have any proof that they should be different? Or is it something, a need that's calling out that I need to address myself? As you begin to understand that the universe is constantly listening to what you're asking, are you sending out the thoughts and the feelings that align with somebody who is in the relationship that you desire to be in? Because if you're in the relationship with that specific person, what would it feel like? What would you be thinking? Because most often what's going to happen is it's not on the same pathway. It's not on the same channel. And again, your thoughts and your feelings, basically, I'm going to put the chart up of Dr. David Hawkins. Joy and love is at one end of that funnel, and lower, on the lower vibration and the higher brain stress and higher brain frequencies is fear and anxiety and those more uncomfortable emotions. So starting to ask, okay, if you're in this ideal relationship, where would you be vibrationally? Would you be in love? Would you be in joy? What are those thoughts and feelings? And look at where your brainwave would be compared to fear, anxiety, and worry. Those being at the lower end, those are not on the same channel. Just the same as you won't hear a rock song on a jazz station. You won't hear a country song on a pop station. Understanding that the thoughts and the feelings are on 2 different realms and starting to identify that in the moment. The second way in which you chasing this person can actually make you push them away is if you are chasing this person so that you'll feel loved, so that you'll feel whole and complete. And this actually coattails off of that first one, where if you're having that high anxiety of, oh man, I really need them to give me attention. Oh man, why can't they see that I'm good enough? Or man, if I got their attention, then I would feel. And anytime you have that dynamic where if you had this person give you attention, if you got a text from this person, then you would feel. What that is a Newtonian way of seeing things. If something in my outside world changes, then I'll feel better about myself. If they give me love, then I'll love myself. And that's not how the universe works. That's like saying that you go in front of a mirror, you really want to be seeing a reflection of a red shirt, and you're wearing a black shirt. So you're like, oh man, I really wish that reflection was red. Oh, I really hope it happens. Oh, I hope it happens. You're really feeling your body with stress. As a human being, your body does not know the difference between imagined stress and actually physically experiencing that stress. That's an amazing thing, and you can actually do wonders with that when you apply it towards a thing you want. Being in those feelings, like Neville Goddard talks about, the feeling is a secret. We can do that. We can take our body places before we actually experience them. And this can happen in a detrimental way. So if we're really wanting that thing, we really want to see our reflection change before we have the red shirt on, right? Well, obviously, we need to put a red shirt on before we see it reflected in the mirror. So if you're looking for this person to bring you wholeness, to bring you completeness, to make you feel worthy, then you are still in a state of unworthiness. You are in a state of feeling incomplete. You are actually living off of assumption, going into the law of assumption by Neville, in which the world works off of you assuming that you're incomplete, that you need this outside thing so that you can feel good about yourself. And you can see that that's going to be an eternal issue, because until you feel good about you, will you ever see that reflected back? And actually, one thing I hear people talk about, and they talk about chasing a specific person, is putting them on a pedestal. And I thought, okay, for me, when I was struggling with looking for somebody outside of me, chasing specific people so that I would feel better, this never really clicked with me, and it kind of irritated me because I didn't feel like I was putting them on a pedestal. And so I actually looked up the etymology of the word pedestal. Shocker, I love etymology because I want to know what this word really means at its core, because I believe words vibrationally do matter and they can influence you even if you don't know the vibration that they're sending out. So a pedestal basically is less, in my opinion, about putting someone above you. And the etymology means basically a supporting structure. It's actually holding the column up. So it's supporting the base. It's a supporting structure. Now, when you think about putting your person, your specific person, on a pedestal, basically you're using them as a support structure for you. Going back into that idea of you not being lovable unless you get the love from them, the attention from them, they are basically supporting your self-worth. And if you look under that and address the fact that you have an insecurity that's somewhere in your childhood growing up, maybe it was a early on relationship, somewhere you have had an injury, a trauma, an idea that showed you, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable. And then you've gone through the world with this perception and you're living through that wound, through that hurt of the past, and letting that past define who you are. No matter what it is right now, I understand that it is painful and it has hurt you immensely. And as you go back and you transmute, you burn through and purify those old wounds and really deal with them directly, so you can take out that wisdom and you can apply it to your future. You can use an alchemical process basically, which is a solve, which is again to burn through, to purify that situation, that experience, take in the knowledge, and then bring back those parts. So you are now better because of that experience, no matter how painful and hurtful it was. If this was involving abuse of any kind, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychological, anything like that, there are other modalities which may need a bit more help, specifically somatic, to bring them out of the body so that you can do this process. You might need a little more help, and that's okay. The biggest thing is starting to understand that if you're using somebody to support your basic essence, to give you self-worth, you will always see a reflection of that low self-worth until you're able to love yourself and embrace the love of who you are as a human being, as a soul in this world. Only then, when you embrace that love in yourself, will you see that reflected back to you. And it will not look like you chasing anyone. It looks like those beings coming together and equally valuing each other, because you value you, and therefore you will see a reflection of value coming back to you in the external world. The third way in which you chasing someone is actually pushing them away is if you're using that rejection as a way to reaffirm who it is you think you are. And again, we're going off of that self-worth and that low value, that low self-worth, that, oh, look, this person's rejecting me. This person doesn't find me valuable. Then basically, unconsciously, that's the way you feel about yourself. Because in the second part, we talked about having that low self-worth and looking outside for someone to give you that. So it's going off that same seed. But in this way, it's saying, oh, look, see, I'm not very good. This person rejects me. I find value in this person and they don't find value in me. I must not be very valuable. And you'll continue to find people to reject you because you're rejecting yourself. You're not valuing yourself as a soul in your unique expression as valuable. And I say that with complete love and compassion because I actually have experienced this in my life, and it was something that I struggled with for a long time. I didn't actually see how much I was rejecting myself until it was pointed out to me, and how I kept finding these people, and I would make their opinion of me and their value of me more important than myself. And what am I doing in that situation? I'm rejecting myself because I rejected me so that they would accept me. And guess what I found? People who were going to do the same thing I was doing, which is rejecting me, which it took me a long time to admit of what I was doing. And as I moved into myself and embraced myself more and valued myself more and made that non-negotiable, only then did I see a reflection of that in a secure relationship and in the world at large. People treating me different because it aligned with the way I saw myself. Only until you start to see that you could be using you chasing this person, you getting rejected, you getting abandoned as a way potentially to be showing you your unconscious. And again, one of the ways in which to get in there and to really do some work is Carolyn Elliott's work with her Existential Kink and the Deepest Fear Inventory. I'm going to include a link to her book as well as her Deepest Fear Inventory. This really helped me, and what I hope it does for you is to show you those unconscious beliefs and limitations that are preventing you from getting the things you consciously want, because they're holding you back because a part of you thinks that that's safe, and a part of you could be getting enjoyment, even though it sounds wild that you could be getting enjoyment from feeling rejected. But feeling rejected might feel safe, it might feel comfortable. So that is literally within your comfort zone. And until you identify it and actually move into it and address what you could be getting out from that consistent rejection, that consistent letdown, that consistent abandonment, what is it? For me, there's a certain amount of satisfaction unconsciously in getting rejected. And what I had to realize was that what I was getting out of being rejected was that I got to play the victim, and I got satisfaction out of being able to go and tell people, oh, look at this thing happened to me. Why did I get satisfaction? Because I was able to get sympathy. I was able to get attention, which is really one of the things I was wanting originally. So unconsciously, I would play the victim so that I would get these things. And understanding that is really what set me free. So I was getting what I unconsciously wanted. So as you're chasing these people, as you're looking to be accepted and really struggling and frustrated in the process, I really ask you to look and see what that situation, what that emotion, what that trigger and physical sensation is bringing to you. The more that you can take responsibility, the more you can liberate yourself from this dynamic and move out of it. You deserve the secure relationship. You deserve to be celebrated and valued for who you uniquely are. And the more you find that in yourself, the more you will see it reflected in your world. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit subscribe. If you haven't done so already, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.